What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be diving some more into the JDM EF2. Now, if you guys haven't seen the last video, be sure to go back and check it out. We installed the subframe back into the car along with the steering rack, the inner and outer tie rods, and a bunch of other miscellaneous components. As I was sitting here in the garage last night prepping all the new prints, I got to thinking about the motor mounts we're going to be using in the car, and I know I have a set of HASPORT motor mounts around here somewhere, so I want to grab those, check out the condition of it, and the last I remember, I'm pretty sure they're like all scarred up. Granted, it's billet aluminum. It's easy to like put scratches on it. So what I want to do is I want to pop the bushings out of them. I want to scuff it up really good, tape it up beforehand, and we're going to be taking it over to my buddy Kel's house to get him powder coated. So that way I'll at least have him ready to go once the engine is ready to go back into the car. We still need a clutch, and I'm working on getting a brand new stage 3 right now. And once that comes back, we can then assemble the transmission, flywheel, clutch to the long block and have it ready to go back into the car. I'm hoping soon, but I can't say because it still just depends on the clutch. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and find these motor mounts. I'm hoping that I have a T-bracket as well too. I'm almost certain I do, but I guess first things first is to find the motor mounts. I have a little aisle back here to go to my stash of parts that I don't touch often over here in the back. And I know it's a little hard to see, but you know, we got clusters on clusters, RBC, wastegates, throttle bodies, EG6 corner lamps, a gang of intercooler. I've shown you guys this back corner before, but I'm pretty sure I have some motor mounts. Who this be? Who this be? Oh, BRB. Okay, so this bag right here, I couldn't see it because it was freaking hanging against the cabinet. But we have some HASPORT motor mounts. Yes, sir. So if you guys look, it's all dirty and crusty. And I really don't want it polished because the engine bay is like a dark black green, and this is going to pop way too much. Granted, we're going for that OE plus-ish now. And it being black will kind of make it a little more subtle in the engine bay. So that's the trans mount for a hydro trans. This is driver's side. This right here is the rear mount. I mean, dude, this looks good, but I don't know. And then we have the DA speedo sensor. This is DA, you can tell by the power steering loophole right here. And we are going to be keeping it cable driven. Granted, there is a cable in the engine bay. Although if I ever switch over to like a electrical VSS, the cluster in that car, if you guys don't remember, we did it on the wagon, you can remove the mechanism in the back and make it an electrical VSS signal to the cluster rather than the cable. We'll figure that out later down the road. For right now, I just want everything to work, so we'll run that. This right here is the innovative rear T bracket, and for some reason I thought I had a DA one, but this, you know what's even better because it looks freaking awesome. It's a little more slimmer, and I remember now where these came from. These came from my all motor Ellis VTEC CRX, and when I did that swap, I put some older HASPORT mounts in them, and I kept these. I think that's what I did. So anyways, what I'm gonna do is, man, now that I'm looking at it, it looks good. It just probably needs a polish, but I want to powder coat it. So what I'm gonna do here is, you're gonna take a socket, you're gonna punch out the like wrist pin, and then these bushings should just pop right out. I mean, it should be easy because like I can already kind of peel it back. Anyways, that's what I'm gonna do, and then we're gonna scuff this thing up. I mean, it looks like a wrist pin, right? These are 62A, which I think will be perfectly fine. These are in good condition as well too. I don't want to go super stiff because I'm not really racing the JDM EF2, so I don't need the whole dashboard to be rattling. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and knock out the other two mounts. So we got all three motor mounts bushings taken out, and I'm probably gonna give this a good old wash because there's a lot of crud in between right here. And I'm probably gonna I mean, it's raw billet. I can probably just red Scotch Brite it just to get it all scuffed up, but the biggest thing is making sure that it's nice and flat, because that's a lot of stuff caked up on the aluminum. So let's wash this thing real quick. Some water. It doesn't need too much. Cook it up, cook it up. Alrighty. I need a toothbrush for these corners. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. This thing looks really freaking good. Do I really want to powder coat it? So I went to my cabinet and I have these motor mounts. So this is the same mount. This is the driver's side with the post mount. And I mean, this is clean too. About the same. You know what? I'm gonna clean all of them and I'm gonna pick and choose which one I want to powder coat. And the only thing about these is that I don't have the rear mount, so it's just two. If I can find the rear mount, if you guys got one for sale, let me know. Hit me up on Static Service Instagram. I would like to make this a complete kit. Not shabby. Not shabby at all. Now let's go ahead and knock out this base plate. The good thing is, whoever painted this, they actually used primer, because there was layers of paint on here to take off. But we got it nonetheless. All three motor mounts are prepped. You guys probably see 4 pieces because this is part of the trans, but I did hit all of this with the DA, which has 220, and then I hit it with the red Scotch Brite on top of that to get all the tighter areas. I did wash it. It's all nice and clean, and I'm gonna tape it with some heat tape on the areas I don't want powder to hit, like inside here, and I want to do all of this so that way when it gets to my buddy Kel's place, he could just go straight to powder coating it. So let's go ahead and prep these with some tape. Throw that in there. Gotta grab a couple of things as well too. I'm going to be stopping by my other buddy's place. If you guys remember that black EF hatch with the B-Tone and VTEC, I want to go and kind of help him a little bit with the supposedly misfires. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my box of injectors in case we need to swap them out, because it has that RC injectors that are in it. I have some good sets in here, and I need my timing gun right here. We're out here at KELLYBUILT's headquarters. My guy out here, production welding, staying super duper busy. Beautiful, dog, beautiful. Yeah, but anyways, we're gonna do some powder coat work right here. You guys remember we did the valve cover for Project Blueberry. Sprays it up right here, and then he has a little oven over there. And we're gonna do this like a semi-gloss, flattish black. I'm not going for super crazy gloss, because gloss leaves fingerprints and stuff, and then, you know what I mean, I don't want it to be too crazy shiny because the bay is already shiny. So flat black it is, and I'm gonna get cracked on this in just a second. Oh, you guys want to talk about a one-stop shop? This guy right here. Oh, looking good, looking good. There you go. Man, I need to get on Marketplace to get me one of these. Damn, the homie Kel, his 8th gen was the daily, and then he went a little hard at Button Willow, took a turn and got tipped over by the freaking the dirt and rolled over his car. But you know what? live to see another day, because all of this is going to go into his Integra, which he's been neglecting. How many years, Kel?
5 years.
Damn, 5 years for the RS Integra. No mamas, ooh, that's crazy. This car needs some loving, bro. This bring us all back to the SDR days. What is this? The Thunder
Gray.
Thunder Gray 94 Integra RS. Soon, this thing is getting a case swap. But you guys probably noticed in the background. Ooh, boy. Ooh, that's all I'm gonna give you guys, man. This thing is beautiful. There we go. Oh my goodness, it looking so good. So good. Like all the other ones right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and let it cool off. Right there. Gucci. Me and the homie Kel was sitting here in the Tesla, and he's helping me with the website for the merch. This is the stuff that I am not familiar with, and Kel is, so he's helped me set up the cartel website for you guys, for those who don't have Instagram or PayPal to pick up t-shirts. Hopefully soon we'll have the website up and going for you guys. He's currently meeting up a customer from Facebook Marketplace, selling parts off his 8th gen, so he's gonna do that real quick. We're gonna finish this up, and we just might head over to the homie Alex's house to check up on that black EF hatch with the B20 VTEC, because he's literally down the street. If you guys remember, this car left my house, it was misfiring. So apparently it had some bad gas, and Alex just put a tank in here, and it actually kind of revs through now. So yeah, mind you guys, it has RC injectors, and we don't know what the tune is on the ECU. Yeah, see, it's firing all 4 cylinders, because earlier it was firing on like maybe 2. So now it's firing on all 4. So realistically, he's gonna have the tuner kind of mess with the map later, but it's firing all 4s, it's holding its own idle, and it doesn't sound like it's misfiring anymore. Simple fix, quick simple fix. Okay guys, so it's the next day. Last night me and the homie Alex was hanging out after the car was running, and I got home a little bit late. So today I came out here a little early to kind of consolidate all of my t-shirt prints. It's 1:13 right now, and I have all of my prints organized. All the ones that are active right now are sitting right here, and all the ones that aren't released yet is over here. We have over hundreds of freaking prints, guys, and I was just taking inventory of everything that I got, as well as stickers, and I'm super stoked because I'm gonna spend like a day or so later this week to make a bunch of shirts to take down with me over to the Hana meet, because that's the next show we are attending with the JDM EF2. If you guys remember, we went to IFO and we brought this box of merch, and I literally sold half of it without even announcing that I brought merch. I just brought it just to bring it, and shout out to you guys for purchasing them while we were out there. So all the shirt stuff is organized, and now I'm gonna go ahead and press the bushings back in to the motor mounts. We worked with Kel yesterday, powder coating them, and dude, it looks freaking awesome. For some reason, I think these are like the older mounts, because if you look, there's no HASPORT label on it whatsoever, right? But the new ones here, they have the HASPORT etched into the mount. So only one of the 3 has the HASPORT logo on it, right there, right? And the other 2 does not. So if you look, nothing there. If you look on the base plate, nothing there. And also this one, nothing here. But nonetheless, they're all HASPORT, and
you have enough to do without becoming a
I had taped these guys off so that way the powder doesn't make the edges thicker and it'll be like a super tight snug fit. So because it's raw still, easy, easy. Pause. Okay, so what's next on the list to do here? I want to dive into the fuel tank of the JDM EF2. This thing is dual carb 35XT special edition, and it has, from what I can see, one fuel line that goes into the engine bay. And as far as I've read online, this fuel tank doesn't actually have a provision for a fuel pump. So obviously my sedans are all-wheel drive and they use a fuel cell in the trunk. So I have the fuel tank from both cars with the fuel pump from both cars. But when I put the tank into this car, I don't want to use the factory fuel pump. And the other one that came out of this car is a Walbro 550, which is in here. And I think, I want to say I have a extra fuel pump somewhere, because when I did that EJ8 last year, the K20A3 turbo, I used one of my fuel pump, but I don't know which one I used. So okay, right there. So right here we have what is this, gram? If this is grams, then I must have used my Deechworks in the car last year. Okay, so I have a grams in here, and I've ran grams before, but I'm gonna be honest, I've been super sketchy with gram stuff, and I try to stay more, you know, more companies specializing in fuel system. Grams came out of nowhere. I had gram injectors that popped two of my motors before. The fuel pump itself, it's gonna work, but I mean, worst case scenario, dropping the fuel tank again later down the road is not going to be a problem. So if I do install the fuel tank today, I want to make sure I have a fuel pump, which I do. So I'm going to go ahead and jack the car up and start taking everything apart to take it out and see what the entire system consists of. So there are 3 hardline right here, 1, 2, 3, and mind you guys, this thing doesn't have a fuel pump, right? So I'm assuming one of them is fuel going forward. This big guy right here, I'm probably gonna use for fuel pump feed to the front of the car. And then we have this little tinier one right here, which I'm almost certain is like the vent valve for the gas tank, which also goes into the engine bay. And then this one is probably the return, which is slightly smaller than the big one right here, right? So it looks like we have hard lines that I can use to build feed and return system. And I know you guys probably remember I did a little DIY plug for the rear seat, And I'm not saying that I want to take care of it right now the correct way, because I have to take my interior apart to access that. But I might take care of that rust as well too, because the gas tank is out of the way and I can weld without, you know, making myself into a bomb, right? So I might shift focus a little bit and repair that hole and still address the fuel tank. So I want to show you guys the fuel tank itself. 35XT fuel tank. It's this one right here, and you guys can see there's no fuel pump hanger here at all, like not even any provision studs, a hole for the most part to put a fuel pump hanger into. So Troubleshooting had done one on his EF hatch where he made the hole and put a fuel pump hanger into it. We're gonna avoid that just because I have other sedans that I, you know, took the tank out of. This one was sitting in the trunk of the car. That one came out of the blue car. So I didn't realize until I just pulled it out that the hanger is gone, because if you guys don't remember, my fuel cells in these cars utilizes the factory fuel pump hanger to submerge the fuel pump instead of an external unit like my red CRX, which was freaking loud everywhere I went. So I don't have a fuel pump hanger, but I can undo this one and use it. This one right here, I modified it for a 10 gauge because I have a Hellcat in here, and all I got to do is pop this little glue off and then solder in a smaller gauge wire, probably like a 16 gauge or something, and also make another ground wire because the harness for that is also gone. Or actually it's not gone, it's hanging underneath the car. But I can use this hanger. So let me show you guys a little difference I've noticed is this tank has 3 hoses on it. I'm pretty sure one to siphon fuel, one to return fuel, and then the other one is for this valve right here, right? And then I noticed that this one has a broken valve on it, right, which is this, that actually goes to one of the hard line, and then it goes to, I believe it might have been the charcoal canister, I don't remember, which goes to a little tiny one down there, because you can see there's 3 hard lines right here. So it goes to that tiny one, and then that tiny one goes to, I want to say, right there. You guys can see that little tiny one right there. And then this one goes to, I believe this one might have been the carburetor intake manifold. But anyways, we're gonna figure it out. I could technically just leave that open, so it's like vented open atmosphere underneath the car, because if I connect that to the hard line, it's just going to be open atmosphere in the engine bay, and then it's going to smell like fuel in the front. As far as looking at everything else, I did rob the hose for the fuel cell, so I'm gonna have to take this one off and move it here. This one does have the overflow line already. It looks like the sending unit is about the same, right? And I mean, other than that, I mean, it looks pretty identical. Now the other thing is, I don't know if the harness in the back seat has it or not, right? Obviously these cars have a fuel tank with a fuel pump that has the fuel pump wiring. This car doesn't. It literally had just one plug, which is this one, and usually the fuel pump wiring is integrated with this harness, right? So I gotta dive into the back seat and see what it looks like back there. But that is our solution to converting this car to EFI, is just to use another tank, USDM spec, or a car that came multi-point. Use the gas tank out of that, you know. But if you guys don't have access, watch Troubleshooting's video and he'll show you how to like drill and modify the tank for a fuel pump hanger. All right, so progress update here on the fuel pump and hanger setup. I had just about everything to make this happen, but I still need to order some stuff. So in my bin, I found this fitting right here. I remember I ordered 2 of them. I used one on this car, and then I have a spare one. M12 by 1.25 to AN6, which goes into the factory threaded hole right here for the OEM banjo, and that converts this line to a -6. We're gonna have to build a -6 from here to the hard line that's underneath the car. I need to go underneath there to figure out the size of the hard line, or I can go measure in the engine bay and get the tube adapter to convert the hard line to -6, so we can link this accordingly and build the line. The return line just need a fuel rated hose to go from here to whatever hard line that's underneath the car that's about the same size, so we can use the hard line to return the fuel from the engine bay to the tank. So the gram injector, we have it right here installed. It came with 2 sock, but it didn't come with the right sock for the EF. I think it'll still work because we have this 1.5 inch of filter that's going to be at the very bottom of that pan, and then this sticks up pretty much the whole length of the height of the tank. I'm hoping that, you know, if I ever run this thing close to like empty, it doesn't suck up air, because the bottom is still submerged in fuel, and normally I don't really run my gas to like empty, aside from when I did this car to IFO, because I really want to know what it'll do mileage wise on a full tank, but I don't ever really like run past the E. So the filter should work fine. It's all wired up perfect. The hose, I had to shorten it in half, and then we had to make a new harness, so we have positive and negative all soldered, all shrink tube, and I did run some loom just to kind of make it look cleaner. I ran it extra long just in case I need to run this inside the car, and once I install this, we'll kind of like zip it, you know, along the tank to make it nice and you know, tucked. I did also change up the valve right here, because remember I showed you guys it was broken. I noticed that it had a check valve, so I wanted to utilize that check valve, so I ended up swapping it over. I did clean it, so it's all nice and clean. The other one, I reinstalled it right there, but I did that. I also pulled the tube off, so we have this tube on here now. I also cleaned that, and practically ready to install this thing back into the tank and move forward from that. So I was measuring out all the hard lines, trying to figure out the fittings that I need. I know what I need to get, so I'm going to place that order tonight. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put the fuel tank in the trunk of the car, and we're going to revisit the fuel tank modification for those who are trying to go from carb to like EFI or run a fuel pump. I'm going to make that its own separate video. We'll talk about everything we did once more, along with everything we still need to do to get this whole system working. What I'm going to do the rest of my night is I'm going to repair that rust hole, and I'm just gonna cut right to it. I'm gonna pull the interior out, pretty much measure, cut, weld, seal, and then put everything back in. That is the goal for the rest of my night, so let's get cracking on it. All right, guys, so we finished that rust patch inside the car that leads the hard line from the outside to the inside, and I'm stoked. I'm stoked that I actually did that, because I would have just left it the way it was with that plate that I made probably a year ago. One of you guys left a comment and was like, yo, you can't be doing that to the EF2. You got to like repair it correctly. And at one point I did go to the junkyard and I chiseled that piece out of another sedan, and it's been sitting inside that wheel for quite some time. And now that we've taken out the fuel tank, this was the perfect time to like repair that, because we can weld without, you know, sparking the gas inside the tank. So we got that done, out, treated. You guys saw underneath, we rhino lined it as well too, just so that it kind of protects it from the elements. Granted, you know, underneath the car, a lot of stuff can cake upward, although after the fuel tank came out of the car, it was pretty freaking clean under there. There was no spider webs, there was no freaking spider, there was no dead spiders. It was like just dust. And the fact that it was like near empty in the gas tank, it made it a lot easier to bring that tank down. So I'm very stoked to be able to do that. Also kind of figured out the situation with the fuel tank, the factory one and the one we're going to be using in there. And also shout out to the homie KELLYBUILT for powder coating our motor mounts. It's going to look really good in the engine bay because it wouldn't be a sore eye. Although I like the billet, the whole theme in the engine bay, the black motor mounts is gonna blend really well. So before we cap out this video, guys, I finally got a freaking packet that got lost in the mail like 2 weeks ago, and I did email them, and I also did go to USPS. It's one of those situations where it's like, you know, the tracking number says it was delivered at this address, but it wasn't physically here. And I know this because it showed up. Because if it was here, it would have been here somewhere, or if somebody stole it, it would have been stolen. But the fact that it still showed up and it's got the ship date on it, they just never delivered it. But anyways, we have it now, and I'm probably not going to use it because I'm certain that I already dropped the front subframe installation video, and we ended up using the Resto Tuner hardware for the upper control arm, and we're going to be using the Resto Tuner for the strut nuts as well too. But typically in all my cars with fresh engine bay paint, I always use the Downstar hardware because it comes with the beauty washer, which helps clamp down on the paint while the nut twists, so that way it doesn't twist the paint. But I've learned that with factory hardware like the Resto Tuner, if you're not using a beauty washer setup like this one here, you can put Vaseline, grease, something on the nut and tighten it down, snug tug, without it actually tearing up the paint. Another note to write down is I bought my upper control arm from Rock Auto. It came with its own hardware. The hardware is like Norlock. It has ridges on the bottom side of the flange nut here, and that will definitely eat up your paint. So I'm glad I didn't use the one that came with the upper control arm, which was actually bolted in there before, but just loosely bolted in place. And I ended up using Resto Tuner. Now I have some spare hardware from Downstar. The other package that we got right here, I didn't want to keep borrowing my brother's jump pack. You guys probably seen it before when I used it on my other brother's G35 jumping his car, and I decided to just buy my own. Same brand, and I've seen a lot of people use this brand as well too, and they work. They are very affordable, although I wanted to run the other one, I believe it was like the NOCO or whatever it was, but that's kind of out of my pocket right now. So I ended up going with this brand because I know it works, and I did get the 6,000 amps. My brother had the 4,000, and the reason why I bought this is because I want to go to the storage unit soon to fire over at H2BCRX. I want to cycle the fluids. I did want to drive it, but I just didn't have enough juice that day to turn the car on. So we have this sucker right here. Right, a little jump pack. This is super convenient because it is also a power bank for, you know, charging my GoPros, my G7X, my phone, whatever I need to charge on the go. This thing is definitely gonna come in clutch. I've been wanting one of these for a long time. That one is dog shit. The cat right there is dog shit, the yellow one, and this one much more compact, and I know it works really awesome. So I got this finally, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna spend the rest of my night kind of going through the shirts and t-shirt designs, because I need to start pressing some shirts to take with me to the Honda meet that's coming up. So I want to build some inventory the rest of my night here. But anyways, so if you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a thumbs up, and if you guys want to stick around for more progress update on the JDM EF2 and how we're going to be buttoning up the entire fuel system to get it ready for the Type R, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.